Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good morning, Mr. Marshall. Hello, Mr. Belvedere. Hey, hello, hi, where are you? Hey, hello, this is me. I draw. And I've got this little setup here. I've made some notes. What are we going to look at today? We're going to answer the who, what, where, when, why, the W's plus the H of drawing, and talk about drawing as a way to bring things out from the netherworlds of our mind, drawing in development. Wow, I made some notes here. I'm going to go exactly with the notes. Facing dread as an aspect of drawing. Overcoming fear. Sorry, I'm laughing because I am terrified. I'm getting sweaty right now. Jeez Louise. Okay. And okay, here's where I get to relax. Prepare for failure. I have also written effing up. Prepare to F up. Or prepare to take an L. All right. So what did I say? Who, what, where, when, why, and how. And I'm going to be drawing as I do it. I think I'm going to draw in ink. All right. So I've got an area set up here. Piece of paper. There you go. We'll talk about things in exactly the order that I've placed it here. Okay. Yeah, I can talk about what is drawing. What is it? Ooh. Yeah. From a fine art point of view, let's say, drawing is dry media. Media in this context would be your oil paint, your acrylic paint. If you've been to a museum and you've seen a painting, there's always the date, the author, and media, sometimes mixed media. You've seen that? Okay. I mean, y'all know what social media is. Everyone's favorite. But hey, let me introduce you to a whole nother use of the word media. So one way to understand it is in comparison to painting, drawing is drier, or at least more dry, or generally dry. You know, starting with charcoal, graphite. You can draw with colored pencils and crayons, wax. The one exception that definitely is worth mentioning is when you see a comic book drawing classic pen and ink. Ink is a liquid media. Sometimes we'll say that drawing is, anything that isn't brushes, but here again is the exception. I mean, you can ink or you can apply ink with a brush, and they will probably call it a drawing. All right. So that's the first question. What is drawing? Who is drawing? I'm drawing. Where is drawing? Well, I like that question because I think there's probably two answers. Drawing is on paper. Could be a very thick kind of paper. And drawing is on a computer, right? Sure. Digital drawing. Fine. Who, what, where, when? When is drawing? Here we are at the warmest part of the day, but also the moment of the brightest natural light. So if you're asking me, I think this is a good time to be drawing. Hopefully, drawing can be relaxing. Who, what, where, when, how drawing? Well, I'm left-handed, so I'm gonna go like right to left. Whereas when I'm writing, I have to do this kind of thing so I can see what's happening. You got to grab some stuff and make some marks on a page. Cool. My next topic is so the concept of drawing out. So in the sense of maybe having an idea come from what you're seeing on the page, or the drawing is something that I have inside of me that I'm taking out. I'm trying to put it onto the piece of paper. For example, here I have no idea. I have intentionally had no idea. I begin to make marks. Maybe I'm having a good day. Maybe I'm having a bad day. Maybe I'm having a day in between. And drawing is an opportunity to sometimes an opportunity to discover to discover where you are, how you're feeling, what you're doing. Okay, so who, what, where, when. This kind of comes to the why. Why? Why do you draw? Maybe because you can't express your ideas in any other way. and you expressing your ideas gives you the opportunity to share them with other people and makes it possible for them to become part of a conversation, like words, but pictures. And this relationship can become very therapeutic, or can give you the satisfaction of having your ideas understood by other people, uh, which is very nice. All right. Who, what, where, when, why, how. I think that's pretty good. Drawing out, development. So in this conversation, what I'm talking about is maybe what I'm demonstrating here, in that nobody has at this moment. I'm not working on a commissioned piece. I have not been dying to draw a particular thing that I've decided in this moment to draw. So I guess what I mean with development here is that drawing can represent a very complex relationship that you have with yourself and your ideas that you are maybe always thinking about in some way. Maybe you are writing about it. Maybe you are making YouTube videos about it. You make some doodles here and there. So I have hopefully just one place in my home where I keep these doodles together. In a moment, I see something that's interesting, but not necessarily something that I feel like I would share, or something that's really a finished drawing. These drawings, for example, were made out in the city, drawing some buildings just to keep things flowing. So again, we're talking about the who, what, where, when, why of development. So your drawings can take place in different ways for different reasons. You can take notes so that when you come to do maybe a more finished drawing, you have something to draw from, in the sense of drawing water from a well, and also in the sense of making marks on paper. So for whatever reason, I like these ideas, so I keep them around. Here's another example of I was developing the idea of a shelf, a group of shelves for some toys in an area of my flat. So similarly, this is development and drawing of what would that look like? How could I put that together? Would that be worth going through the trouble to make in reality? All right. And even this here I'm doing now, although I'm not drawing anything as far as I want it to represent something and you think that you see that same thing. This is creating the opportunity for ideas to come up. Maybe this is a grid. I lost a train of thought right there. I had a brilliant thing to say. So maybe we can go, let's see, who, what, where, why development, why use drawing for development? It's cheaper than flat out building a thing in a lot of cases. It's less energy and resources than making an entire finished painting. Uses fewer resources than painting on a canvas or a board. And if you like whatever it is that's happening, then you can take it to the next stage and always have a guide of sorts, something to fall back on, to keep you directed, to give you enough confidence to continue. Which brings us to our next point, facing dread. What? Come on. You're sitting in a chair, making lines on a piece of paper with a pencil. That's what's to not like about it. I say facing dread, which is looking forward to something negative. This is bad. Whoa. Whoa. All right, I laugh because I experience dread constantly. And so I would say that it's something to keep in mind, that instead of drawing giving you the possibility to escape from all negativity, it's more like the possibility to practice doing something that you're interested in, even though it may be a little uncomfortable, even though there is some degree of risk. You might hate what you draw. You might hate yourself because you can't draw. You might hate yourself because you can't have an interesting idea. You could be afraid that maybe you could be doing something more valuable with your time. So facing dread is, I would say that facing negativity in your drawing experience is it's like a fire curtain you have to walk through, or or it's like a sweater in a Looney Tunes cartoon. The little thread gets loose, and how do you face dread? You face it because you convince yourself you can. You remember that it's just got to get a hold of one little thread and start to pull. And after you have some positive experiences within the drawing process, you realize how important that little thread can be. Maybe you will become more sensitive to those feelings. And so other people would look and it would seem impossible, but it's definitely something any person can do. People definitely do it in different aspects of life. And it's not different with drawing and or painting and or being creative, making anything, almost doing anything in life. Okay. The next thing I wrote here is overcoming fear. And I think I already talked about it. Maybe another. I mean, yeah. Okay. So how do you overcome fear? You trust in the process. That's how you do it. And the next part is the next topic here. You prepare for failure. You allow failure to take place. You play. And you will find that when you are in a playful mode, interesting things will happen. And you'll find that when you become tense or unsure or distracted, it will likely compound on itself, and it can very quickly become much more negative than it needs to be. One of my oh my gosh, one of my better teachers recommended taking a lot of breaks, which I think is a good idea. And also taking a moment to stand back, actually stand up, walk across the room, look at what you're doing. Look at it in a mirror, take a picture of it, look at it in black and white. Change your perspective. Keep moving. Keep a fresh feeling. Again, I wouldn't describe it as constant pleasure. It's more like play, constant play, and the anticipation that something amazing can happen, not only in your mind, in your experience, but maybe the coolest part of artistic expression is that other people can see it. Okay, I'm getting misty-eyed now. All right, so we've done some pencil stuff here, and honestly, I've been drawing for years. I have to confess, it starts to hurt. I'm going to do a little bit of inking. I don't know if I'm in a good position, but I set up the camera here so that this could be seen, and that's what it is. So we'll just do a little bit of technique stuff. I usually tape up my finger. I had it taped up before. Okay. So depending on where you rest a thing when you draw, this will be the technique portion. This is a nib. It's a metal thing that they still sell probably in one shop of most medium-sized towns and definitely all large cities. You can find these things still, like used to be a feather maybe. So you dip it and you get this part. The ink will stick there, basically. And with gravity, it moves down, and also with pressure. This thing is split. I hope that you're able to see that. Anyway, the pointy part is split down the middle, so that when you put pressure on the page, the stroke, as it were, the line can become thinner or thicker. And you get a feel for it, for the rhythm of it, which is quite unique from a regular pen. Whereas a regular pen, you can just keep making lines until it runs out. Even you could have a box of them sitting next to you, but this is a rhythm of line, 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 and runs out of ink. And you put some more ink. If you're not careful with this, it will drip. Or if you want to have that, then it's just flicking your hand. And I have water here because from time to time you have to wash. You have to clean that thing off. And I definitely recommend covering one finger. All right. Well, I feel that was a more than adequate introduction to drawing. I hope it was enjoyable and useful and helpful. All right, I'm gonna go hit the button. Thanks. Bye.